Well, students, a very good morning to all of you. I am myself Sankar Nath Jha, a teacher of physics, Tata DAV School, Jamadova. I would like to try my level best to satisfy you in all respect. Now I am going to start you to teach electrostatics. That is the first unit of your standard. Today we will start from the permittivity and some other things. Now please come to the point. We were discussing about the Coulomb's law. In the case of Coulomb's law, we have learned the Coulomb's law states that whenever 2 point charges are located at some located at some point apart from each other, then a force is acting between these two charges. That force is directly proportional to the product of the magnitude of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between these two charges. And this force is acting along the line joining the two charges, 2 point charge. This means the Coulomb's law is valid for the point charges located at some point in a free space or in a medium. That means when the charges are at rest, isn't it? At rest. This thing we have learned earlier. Okay. Coulomb's law is also having some drawbacks or limitations. Limitations of the Coulomb's, that means the Coulomb's law is not valid all the points in all the situation. It is not applicable in all the situation. Coulomb's law, as we have already come to know, the first limitation of the Coulomb's law is what? It is applicable for the charges which are at rest. Clear? And Coulomb's law, the Coulomb's law is also having one important drawback, is that the distance between these two charges must be greater than the nuclear size, because if it is not so, then in that very situation the nuclear force will be dominant over the electrostatic force. Do you understand? The size of the nucleus will be what now? 10 to the power minus 50 meter. So this distance between the two charges must be greater than the nuclear size. Otherwise, the nuclear force will be dominant over the electrostatic force, and these charges must be the point charges. These are the limitations related to the Coulomb's law. Now, without wasting too much of time, we are proceeding towards the permittivity. As I have already written the definition, permittivity. Permittivity is what? It is the property of the medium which determines the electric force between two charges situated in that medium. You try to understand. The permittivity is one of the properties of the medium. Clear? It is the property of the medium which determines the electric force between two charges situated in that medium. For examples, you see the force between two charges located some distance apart from each other in water is about 1/80th. The force between the two charges located in the air. It means the permittivity of water is about 80 times greater than the permittivity of air. So we can say that permittivity also varies. The permittivity as we find in free space or air is different from the permittivity when the two same charges at the same distance are located in a medium. This is the case of the permittivity. Well, students, the second point is what now? You see, dielectric constant or relative permittivity. Now I am writing here dielectric constant. This dielectric constant is also known as relative permittivity. Relative permittivity. It is generally denoted by a small r, epsilon r or k. Clear? Now you see the dielectric constant or relative permittivity is the ratio of the force acting between two charges apart from each other in a free space or air to the force acting between the same charges at the same distance in a medium. This is called what now? Dielectric constant or relative permittivity. To understand it in better way, you see, suppose there are two charges Q1 and Q2. These two charges are located at point A and B and they are apart from each other by distance r. Then the force acting between these two charges is what now? F. Let it is in free space or air. Yeah? Then F air, isn't it? F air is, now we will write F air is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 into Q2 by R square. Equation first. Let the same two charges, right? Let the same two charges Q1 and Q2 are apart from each other by the same distance r is in a medium. Clear? In a medium. Then the force acting, you mean student, you try to understand this force is the electrostatic force. The force acting between these two charges is what now? F medium. We will now write F medium is equal to what now? 1 by 4 pi. Now here we will write epsilon. Clear? Epsilon. That is equal to what? Epsilon Q1 into Q2 by R square. You again try to understand the force acting between these two charges when these two charges are located in a medium by the same distance r. Then we have the electrostatic force F medium is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 into Q2 by R square. Let this is equation second. Okay. Now dividing equation first by equation second. Student, I do hope that now you will be understanding it. The F air upon F medium is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 into Q2 by R square upon 1 by 4 pi epsilon R square. You see here it is Q1 into Q2. Once again, little bit here it is. Shanabu. Well, students, you see F medium is equal to what now? 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 into Q2 by R square. This is equation second. Now, dividing equation first by equation second. Okay, dividing equation first by equation second, we have F air or free space or vacuum upon F medium is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 into Q2 by R square upon 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 into Q2 by R square. You see it? Yes. So now by seeing these two, we observe that 1 by 4 pi should be cancelled out. Q1 into Q2 by R square, Q1 into Q2 by R square should be cancelled out. Then after we find it becomes epsilon by epsilon naught. Clear? This implies F air or vacuum or free space upon F medium is equal to epsilon upon epsilon naught. This epsilon upon epsilon naught is equal to epsilon R. This is called relative permittivity. This is called what now? Relative permittivity, or it is also known as dielectric constant. This relative permittivity is also clear. This relative permittivity is also denoted by K. So we observe that F air F upon F medium is equal to epsilon upon epsilon naught is equal to epsilon R is equal to K. This is called what now? Dielectric constant. Clear? Or relative permittivity. Relative permittivity. This implies F air upon F medium is equal to epsilon upon epsilon naught is equal to epsilon R or K, isn't it? Or K. This is called what now? Dielectric constant or relative permittivity. So from this expression, we notice that dielectric constant or relative permittivity is the ratio of the force acting between two charges, say Q1, Q2, right, apart from each other by a distance r, isn't it? By a distance r, you observe that it will be equal to what? Apart from each other, you see the force acting between two charges in free space to the force acting between the same two charges at the same distance in a medium. The dielectric constant or relative permittivity is simply the ratio, as it is the ratio of the same physical quantity. That's why it will not have any unit. Okay, it has no unit, as it is the ratio of the same physical quantities. Understand? So I do hope that everybody might have understood. Still anybody is having any sort of confusion, you will ask me and I will make it clear. The student, this permittivity and dielectric constant, one of the question is always asked in the examinations. Now we are moving towards the electric field. First of all, we will develop the concept of electric field. Electric field. It is generally denoted by E. Electric field is what? Clear? You try to understand electric field. Electric field, you see, before now defining the electric field, I am just now giving you the concept of the electric field. Suppose there is a charge Q, positive charge Q, plus charge, and it is located at some point O. Then on account of this positive charge, positive charge, a region, right? A region is developed around it. That region up to some extent is known as the electric field. This region, right, developed around the charge, up to which its influence can be experienced. You try to understand the region around a charge, positive charge or negative charge, any kind of charge. The region around a charge up to which, if any charge, say the test charge, is brought in this region, or located in this region, then it will experience a force. The region up to which any test charge present in it experience a force, that is called electric field. Isn't it? That is called electric field. Suppose in this region, consider there is a test charge Q naught. It is called part now test charge. And this is called source charge or a point charge. Source charge or point charge. So we see in this region, whenever a test charge is placed, then it experiences a force. That force is called part now electrostatic force. This is due to the source charge, right? This is due to the source charge. That this source charge generates or produces the region around it, all around it, up to which any kind of test, any kind of charge, that is the same, we are taking that test charge. okay, whose magnitude is extremely small, then we say that the electric field E is equal to what now? Force upon test charge Q naught. Force upon Q naught. It means the electric field is defined as the force experienced per unit test charge in a region, right? And that region is what now? Electric field, which is produced on account of the source charge. Clear? So the electric field is what? Electric field is nothing. It is simply the region around a source charge up to which any test charge present in that region experiencing the force. Clear? This electric field is equal to what now? Force upon test charge. It is a vector quantity. What is this? This is a vector quantity. It's SI unit. You try to understand, it's a SI unit. Its SI unit is what now? You know, force is measured in Newton, charge is measured in Coulomb. So that is what now? Newton per Coulomb. You can also write the another unit of the electric field, that is what now you see, volt per meter. You try to understand, volt per meter. The electric field is equal to what now? Force upon charge. And you know that V, that is now V is equal to W by Q, isn't it? W by Q. That Q is equal to what now? W by V, isn't it? And W is measured in joule, V is measured in volt. This joule is what now? Newton meter upon volt. Now placing it here, we will now have electric field, SI unit. Clear? SI unit. What will be now equal to what now? Force, that is Newton upon, clear, Newton meter upon volt. Newton cancel, that is volt per meter, isn't it? Volt per meter. So either you can say that the SI unit of electric field is what now? Newton per Coulomb or volt per meter. Student, I do hope that you might have understood the things that I have taught you on this board. Clear? Now we are moving towards the electric field due to a point charge. Clear? Electric field due to a point charge. Clear? On account of this electric field due to a point charge, isn't it? I think you might have understood it very well. Should I rub it? Clear. Now I am rubbing it. Electric field due to a point charge. Consider a point charge plus Q is located at point O, right? On account of which, clear, on account of which an electric field produced around it is E. Let at point P, clear, at point P we have to determine the electric field, okay, which is at a distance of R, clear, from the source charge plus Q. Let At point P, a test charge Q naught is situated. Okay? Then from the Coulomb's law, okay, from the Coulomb's law, we know that from the Coulomb's law, but according to Coulomb's law, Coulomb's law, what? F is equal to the force acting between these two charges is what now? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q into Q naught upon R square. Clear? The electric field, this force is now radially outwards. Clear? Radially outwards. Now the electric field, clear? Electric field, isn't it, is equal to what now? F upon Q naught. We have already come to know. Then that is equal to what now? F is equal to what now? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q into Q naught upon R square upon Q naught. This Q naught is now cancelled. This becomes what now? Student, you see 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, clear, Q upon R square, isn't it? This is what? This is the electric field, right, due to a point charge. This is what? Electric field due to a point charge. The electric field due to a point charge at any point, clear, at any point from the source charge or point charge at a distance R is what? Is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R square. This implies, we observe from this expression, is directly proportional to 1 by R square. So we notice that the electric field decreases as the distance increases, isn't it? Now, the student, I do hope that now you might have all the things very well, and still you are having any sort of problem anywhere, I will make it clear in my next class. Up till there, now I am leaving it. In my next class, we will see some more aspects of the electric field. Thank you.